If you're inconsistent with your driver, maybe you pop it up, maybe you slice it, maybe you hook it, maybe you hit it thin, chances are it's because your backswing's too steep. Commonly called across the line, if for those of you that understand that phrase. Casey's here is a great friend of mine, I think ever since 6th grade. We've worked together. She's going to go to college and play at a Division I Lindenwood school next year.
Yeah.
Casey goes across the line at the top with her driver.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do.
And over the winter, her angle of attack with driver might have been -12.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's better now. It's only -5. But I'd like to get it to 0. But to do that, she has to change the direction of her backswing. Not necessarily the length of it, but just the direction. So I'm going to show her a couple drills to do. It's going to help her as she works on it, and it'll help you at home too. Go ahead and just hit a few there for me and warm up. And Casey's really one of my favorite players I've ever worked with, probably of all time. She practices a lot, and she really doesn't think about very much when she's playing. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I try not to anyway.
Yeah. And what are the numbers you try to pay attention to the most when you're practicing?
I would say my face angle, because I think my face a lot of the time tends to be like either open or closed. So if I can just make that more consistent. But all of the other numbers for me, I'm a big feel player, so I don't like pay attention to the other ones.
Okay, good. And that's what I meant earlier, why she's one of my favorite players. Is she's not very mechanical, right?
No.
No?
Not at all.
Yeah. But that's really the best way to play competitive golf, is to really not have any thoughts in mind but your target, right? Is that pretty much what you work on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Casey makes a mistake that I see a lot, and I'm sure some of you do as well. She gets the club too long and it gets pointed to the right on her backswing, and that's called across the line. The problem with that is the club starts down on a very steep angle, and that's why she has an attack angle that's too steep with driver. That's what we're going to work on. As she gets better and better on her backswing position, it's going to automatically change her. And that's pretty typical of you, around 95 mile an hour club head speed with driver, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That's also pretty typical of you, that you have a -5 angle of attack, right?
Yeah.
But that's actually improved significantly, right? Yes. But that's probably what would be your biggest improvement still, would be driver, right?
Yeah.
And in high school golf, you could hit it so far that you really didn't have to hit driver very often because the courses were so short, right?
Yeah.
Yes. But now that you're going to get in college and the courses are going to get bigger and you're going to be playing against people that really hit driver well, that's probably where over the summer you could probably improve the most. Would you agree with that? Yeah.
Definitely.
So. Patrick and I did a flashlight video that for Casey's the best way for her to learn this position. It's had over almost 300,000 views. I recommend it for everybody. And if she can get the butt end of her club to point at the target line going back, it will correct that mistake in her swing. Set up with your driver for me like there's a ball right here where I've got the pipe set. And just so we get your distance away. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so if we go back on the perfect plane, as this club would go back, see that flashlight's got to point at the target line.
Okay.
And when you get over this way, do you see where it points?
Yeah.
And then your first move down steep then, and then the club's that way, and then you have no choice but to hit it down on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. And so All I want you, let's scoot out this way, stay that same distance away, even a little farther, just so we have a longer line back here.
Okay.
Okay, good. Awesome. So all I want you to do is feel like you're pointing at the TrackMan.
Okay.
So just, you don't even need to follow through. Just do those practice swings. Awesome. Do you see where that club is now and that it doesn't point over there to the right?
Yeah.
And you're, with your irons, you're pretty much there. So go ahead and set up right here like there's a ball right on that stick.
Okay.
And so this is something you can do at home, okay, or at Elevate, pointing at the TrackMan. So let me see you just do that back and forth a couple times. And you can go farther than that. Does that make sense? So I'm not trying to shorten your backswing. I'm trying to change the direction of it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I don't want to point it over this way.
Yeah.
And that's why you're such a good player that you can save it down there at the bottom most of the time and hit a good shot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But boy, it's going to be so much easier if we can just get right there and hit it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. So here's what I'd like you to do. I want it to be real simple. Okay, go ahead and take your stance. And I want you to point just over the TrackMan on the way back and hit it.
Okay.
Okay, let's just see what happens. Instead at the TrackMan that time, though, you'd have probably pointed somewhere at the ceiling up here, okay?
Okay.
All right, keep swinging. Do a couple little practice swings where you're just pointing and then hit it, okay? And try to feel the same thing. That was pretty good there. Still minus on the attack, but what were you over the winter?
Like -12.
Yes, so we're a lot better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, for anybody, that's what all we're trying to do is get better. So we're not going to get rapidly better at the beginning. And I'd recommend you making one of my flashlights again. And
I think I may have one from like 6th grade.
yes, I agree. I would have showed you that.
Yeah.
I know.
I remember doing that in my living room.
Yes, I know. So I would that'd be the easiest way to learn to do it without thinking about it. Okay? Because I know you don't like to think about a lot.
Yeah.
And frankly, that's a strength of yours. So I'm always careful what I tell you, because I know if I tell you like 5 things, you'll like just blow me off, because there's no way in the world you're going to think of 5 things. Am I right?
Right.
Yes. Okay. One of the things I've found that's most effective in improving your angle of attack with driver is having something out in front of the golf ball, 3 or 4 or 5 inches, like a towel that I used with Casey. That's probably the best thing. You can use an empty cardboard box from a sleeve of balls as well. But what I found, it's a very effective way to learn to improve your angle of attack without thinking about positions in your swing. And we've done simple things with you trying to improve attack angle. Mm-hmm. And this one's helped you before.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can either put a cardboard box or a towel or something out in front. So we would like to be over that on the way through. So try to combine both things where you're still trying to point at the TrackMan going back, and then you're going to swing over that towel on the way through.
Okay.
Good, and even though that went right, you can see that got you in the -3 range there.
Yeah.
So just keep doing that. So I would probably try to do both things when you're practicing the next few weeks, is put a stick on your target line back there that you can imagine that you're pointing at.
Okay.
And then still use a towel there in front, okay? You can see we're only -1 that time, -2. So, and when you see this video from our back camera here, you'll see how much better that looks when you do your practice swing, okay, I promise. And I'm not trying to make you shorten your swing.
Okay.
All I'm trying to make you do is change the direction of it on the backswing.
Okay.
Because it's a terrible swing thought to try to stop short, because it messes up your tempo and your timing, and you're a field player. And so because of that, I'm not trying to get you to be shorter, even though we'll probably get a zillion comments saying, "Oh, my God, how far back does she go? Tell her to shorten up," right? And so I don't want you to shorten up, okay?
Okay.
So I just want the direction to be better, okay? So a couple more practice swings. All those people that'll comment like that you'd beat them by 15 shots anyway, okay?
Okay.
All right. Good. Point at the track, man. Don't hit the towel. Don't hit the towel. It's still better though. Do you see it's only -4
Yeah.
and a half? Yeah.
It is better.
And we're not trying to, we've talked about this before. I don't want you to be +5. Okay? I just want you to be 0. And as you can see, just making a quick adjustment in just a few minutes has already improved that attack angle. The drill I gave her with a towel, the flashlight drill, it'll really help her. If she can get her attack angle down to 0 or maybe +1 or +2, it's going to average maybe 25 yards more with her driver. At a competitive Division I college level, that's a big difference. So that's our goal for the summer. She's not going to do that in a day. It's going to take a month or two, and it's just going to get gradually better a little at a time. But if we can just get a little better every day, we're going to be a lot better players, and you will too. But frankly, the difference between -5 and 0 for you will probably be 20 yards worth of distance. You'll hit it 20 yards farther if you can get to 0.
Okay.
You would hit it farther if you got to +5. You'd probably hit it another 15 yards farther, but you would start hooking. And you don't want to hook, right?
No.
Nope. So,
I would much rather it just be straight.
yeah, I understand. So, that's why we just want to be 0. And I would really recommend it with the flashlight.
Okay.
I bet you if you would swing the flashlight for an hour, it'd fix it automatically.
Okay.
Go ahead and set up there again. And I don't care how far back you go. So I'm only stopping you here just because the TrackMan's there. So I don't mind you going farther back, okay?
Okay.
All right. So my purpose isn't to shorten you up. It's just to have it point in the right direction.
Okay.
Okay. Good, that's better. All right, good. One of the things for me as an instructor, especially when I work with a tournament player like Casey, is you really have to understand how they think on the golf course and how they play. And I know Casey's not very technical at all with her swing. She doesn't like to think about positions in the golf swing. Does she make mistakes in her golf swing? She does, but she practices a lot every day. She hits a lot of balls. She plays a lot on the golf course. And she's really an outstanding player. So I have to be careful with a player like that to not give them too much information because if I do, they're just going to tune me out and not do it anyway. I'm pretty confident if she'll swing that flashlight stick, it'll just automatically, little by little, change her backswing position with her driver. She's such a good player. She chips and putts, and her wedges are amazing if you would watch her hit wedges. If she can just hit driver a little better, you know, she'll be shooting a lot of scores in the 60s because she's already really close to that. I'm not going to change a lot. I don't really like how she holds the club. I think she could improve her grip a little, and we've talked about it for years, and she hasn't changed it. But boy, I've seen a lot of bad grips on really good players, and what's important is what score they put down next to your name, and her scores are usually really good. So the difference between a -5 angle attack and 0 is going to be somewhere between 15 and 20 yards. That's my goal for you, to get to 0. For people at home that really want to hit it as far as they possibly can, then you would want that angle of attack maybe to be +5, and that would gain another 15 yards.
Yeah.
And so the difference between -5 and +5 angle of attack is almost 30 yards. And TrackMan has that data on their website. So that's what's really important for you to compete at the next level. You want to be a great driver of the ball. You're already a great iron player. So the better you get with driver, the more people you're going to beat. And I know that's what you want to do, right?
Yeah, it is.
You're starting a TikTok channel, am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
What's the name of it?
Old Hick Golf Chicks.
All right.
Is that right?
Yep. Yep. I think that's who came up with that title.
You did.
I did. We'll put a link here in the description. Follow them along. They do a lot of fun stuff, and
Yeah.
if you like their swings, you'll get to see a lot more of them on their TikTok channel.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
yes. So good. Okay. So thanks for coming over today, and
Yeah, thanks for having us.
well, you're welcome. Like I said, two of my favorite people ever. So.
Aw.
All right, so thanks. Hey, if you've really enjoyed this video, check out the one in the description below, the 3 reasons why you likely slice, and it'll really help you.